Now it is time for the top 9 Q&A portion.
Please step up when it's your turn. We'll start off with contestant number 2. Please step forward. When saying you are Vietnamese American, why do you say Vietnamese first?
Thank you for your question. May you please repeat your question?
When saying you are Vietnamese American, why do you say Vietnamese first?
Thank you for your question. When I say that I'm Vietnamese American, I always say Vietnamese first because that was where I was born. I was fortunate to be born into a family that not only is so passionate about Vietnamese culture and Vietnamese heritage, I'm so blessed to have such connections with my ancestors in Vietnam. So when I say I'm Vietnamese American, I always say Vietnamese first, as it is my way of announcing my ancestors, my family, and where I come from. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for your answer. Please step back. Contestant number 4, please step forward. Do you believe that tradition and heritage should be left behind in order to progress in today's society?
Thank you for your question. Can you please repeat the question?
Do you believe that tradition and heritage should be left behind in order to progress in today's society?
Thank you for your question. I believe your tradition and heritage should not be left behind. Through my heritage and through my traditions, I found out that Vietnamese culture is about strength and beauty. It has guided me through every aspect of life and have created the person I am today, which is a strong and an ambitious woman. I am proud of the Vietnamese culture that shapes me, and that is why I will always hold on to those traditions and values of being strength and beautiful. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, contestant number 4. Please step back. Contestant number 5, please step forward. Who is your role model and how have they influenced your future aspirations?
Thank you for your question. My biggest role model in life has always been my mother. She's the person, the woman that I love the most. She's the woman who supported me the most. That is why I try so hard to learn our language, Vietnamese, so I can tell her everything I love about her. I love the way that she works every single day without breaks and come home to cook dinner. And she still looks after me. She has supported every single step of my rose pageant journey and my whole entire life. She has shaped me to become the person that I am today. I am so thankful for her. That is why I strive to be a woman like her. She is my ultimate role model. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, contestant number 5. Please step back. Contestant number 6, please step forward. What was your main reason for joining Rose Pageant, and what is the most important lesson you've learned from this experience?
Thank you for your question. Can you please repeat the question?
What was your main reason for joining Rose Pageant, and what is the most important lesson you've learned from this experience?
Thank you for your question. Moving down to a school 7 hours away from home, I found that I had this fear
that I wouldn't be able to find my community. I couldn't find my sisterhood, the people that I feel like would help me belong. Joining Rose Pageant, I was able to connect not only to my culture, but to inspire the next generation alongside leaders that would help shape our community. My goal is to not only inspire Vietnamese women, but those that are also younger as well. By me standing here on the stage today, I hope to inspire girls that are in a minority to spread their voice, their culture, to be proud, but to also create change. Because with my inspirational perspective, I hope to do the same for everyone. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Please step back. Contestant number 7, please step forward. If you had to create a TV show that your entire family can enjoy, what would it be?
Thank you. May you please repeat your question?
If you had to create a TV show that your entire family can enjoy, what would it be?
Thank you for your question. If I had to create a TV show for our whole family to enjoy, I would make a TV show out of the folklores and folk stories of our Vietnamese culture. I grew up in Vietnam. Growing up, I learned the different stories that tells our histories, from how bánh chưng is made, to how our different foods is made, to the customs and traditions that we carry. In creating a TV show of our folklores, I believe in passing on those values, in passing on those stories to not only keep our traditions alive, but to also inspire the young minds of young girls who, like me, was younger, found those stories so inspiring, and to carry on the hearts of our Vietnamese heritage. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Please step back. Contestant number 8, please step forward. Education is a privilege. How are you going to help your community with this privilege?
Thank you for your question. May you please repeat it?
Education is a privilege. How are you going to help your community with this privilege?
Thank you for your question. Understanding that education is a privilege, I would like to help my community with this privilege by pursuing my physician's assistant certification. My dream is to go into healthcare, so one day I can give back to my community by providing quality, affordable medical care. This year's philanthropy is to donate to SAPVN's free mobile care, to give back to underprivileged communities in Vietnam and provide them free, quality health care. I support this philanthropy fully because I believe that healthcare should be free and accessible to all. And growing up as a caretaker for my grandmother and my uncle, I understand firsthand the impact that quality medical care makes on one's quality of life. So, using my privilege of education, I would like to obtain my healthcare certifications, take it back to my community, and provide quality healthcare for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Please step back. Contestant number 10, please step forward. If you could go back in time, what is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Thank you for your question. May you please repeat it?
If you could go back in time, what is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Thank you again for your question. If I could go back in time, I would tell my younger self that your story is your strength. Never be afraid to conform to other people's ideas of who you are. Never feel like you have to fit into a box. Your beauty is within the story of your family and your heritage. The beauty in that is what you carry into the world and you carry into your community. You use that to shape the way that you affect others and influence others in positive ways. And that is what I would tell my younger self, because I believe that my story is beautiful in its own way, and I never want to change myself for that reason. Thank you.
Thank you. Please step back. Contestant number 15, please step forward. If you could describe your personality through a Vietnamese dish, what would it be?
Thank you for your question. Will you please repeat it?
If you could describe your personality through a Vietnamese dish, what would it be?
Thank you for your question. If I could describe my personality through one Vietnamese dish, it would be bánh xèo. I think bánh xèo is something that anybody can eat, and there's so many different ways that you can eat it, and it's a very inclusive dish. For example, you can eat bánh xèo in a bowl and put some nước mắm in it, or you can wrap it in some lettuce and eat it. It's a very creative dish. You can eat it in so many different ways, and it's inclusive to many different preferences, and a great dish that I often recommend to my friends when we go out to dead markets. Bánh xèo is a great dish that many people can eat together with their families and with their friends. It brings people together. Again, it's an inclusive dish that allows for creativity. And so this is why if I could describe my personality as one dish, it would be bánh xèo. Thank you.
Thank you. Please step back. Contestant number 16, please step forward. As a modern woman, how are you redefining the idea of femininity?
Thank you for your question. Can you please repeat your question?
As a modern woman, how are you redefining the idea of femininity?
Thank you for your question. As a modern woman, I want to redefine femininity as something that isn't just fragile and delicate, but something that is strong and powerful. As an Asian American, it is easy to be stereotyped as someone who is docile and quiet and tame. But as many of you in the audience probably know, many Vietnamese people are actually very opinionated and very strong-willed. And this isn't a bad thing. It just means that we have passion in ourselves and strength in our character. And so, if I were to redefine femininity as a modern woman, I would want to define it as powerful, strong, and unique to all. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 16. Thank you, top 9. You may now exit the stage. Let's make some noise for our beautiful roses.